From Studio 3 at Buzz TV, it's The Horse's Mouth with Tom McManus.
All right, welcome into another edition of The Horse's Mouth here on Buzz TV. Back at the bar, back at Tommy Mac's, meeting some great people in this great city of Jacksonville. Our show always brought to you by Goodfellas Cigar Lounge and Spirits, the Brust Nutter Wealth Advisory Team at Ponte Vedra Beach, and the Southern Grill right there on the South Bank on Flagler Avenue. Daniel Bean is back from Able and Bean, and Andrea Miller from Brainspotting Therapy USA is at the bar. Let's welcome them in. Dan, how are you, my man?
I'm good, man.
Good to see you again.
It's all good.
Looking sharp.
Thank you, sir.
Enjoying your beverage, I see.
I see.
You're just sipping, though. That's good.
Yeah,
no doubt about it. We have a friend here, Andrea Miller. Hi, Andrea.
Thank you.
How are you doing?
I'm lovely. Thank you.
I am graced by your presence. You've been in the building before, but the first time on The Horse's Mouth. So thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Tell us about Brainspotting Therapy.
Okay. Well, basically, it is a brain and body-based treatment modality.
Okay.
And it focuses on trauma, unresolved trauma, rather.
Okay.
And it's miraculous. It's been a game changer. I've been in the field for over 25 years.
Okay.
I found out about it in about 2018, and it's really helped a lot of my clients heal in a more rapid
Okay,
pace.
and when you say trauma, you said it's not necessarily physical, emotional, just something that happened to you that it's unresolved, right?
Right, unresolved trauma. And so trauma is like basically a feeling of helplessness.
Right.
So it could be something as far as, witnessing something that has happened. Or losing a job, absolutely, and not knowing when you're going to pay your bill, a feeling of helplessness. So it's not necessarily, related to like the death of a loved one. It could be related to grief, loss, any fears, phobias, anxieties. Lots of different topics, even smoking. If someone wants to stop smoking.
Really?
Yes, absolutely. Wow. I've done that before.
So how does it work? So I want to stop smoking. How would you help me do that?
Okay, so I would ask you, what is the worst part for you? And tell me a little bit about, how you started smoking. I would kind of like do a setup of how you first began smoking and what is the worst part for you. Maybe the worst part is that you've been told you've got lung cancer and you only have 6 months left to live and you want to make that your quality of life. So we would start to find your brain spot and you would work with me to find that. And we would look for that activation in your body. Some people feel it in their chest where they have that anxiety in their chest. And then some people will feel it in their legs. They'll be real restless with their legs or they'll feel it in their shoulders. They'll be real tense. So we want to find their activated spot to work through it. Or we can work through it on their resource spot, which is where they're calm, grounded, and neutral. So I work with them as they're gazing at the tip of the pointer because we use their line of vision.
Okay.
And so they stare at the tip of the pointer as I move it. And then once we find their brain spot and they tell me which one they want to focus on, either their calm or their activated spot, then we go from there. And I usually suggest that clients do both so they can see the difference of how their brain processes.
Yeah. So I have a lot of questions. So how do you know when you've hit the spot? Like
so,
you're just reading them, and you're like, I'm there. Like you feel like you're there. You're close. So how do you figure that out?
That's a good question.
That's fascinating.
It is fascinating. It's been such a game changer. It's really mind blowing. It's been the best thing.
We need some liquor. I'm just kidding.
But how I find the brain spot is so there's two different techniques. So I'll usually put the pointer to their left, and in their center, and then to their right. And then higher and then lower on the activated spot. And so if they can't feel it anywhere in their body, then I do what's called outside window. So I go real slow across their field of vision with a pointer. And so I look for all these different cues as trained as a brain spotting therapist to look for.
Wow.
Or they can tell me, oh, right there. It's starting to feel really tense in my chest right there.
Wow,
so either they find it or I find it, or we work together to find it.
Once you find it, what happens?
So then I just tell them whatever happens in your brain, just let it process out. And so they may think about the issue at
Okay.
hand that they wanted to process out,
Yeah.
or it may not even touch that.
Wow.
So it's kind of like the brain hijacks the session, whether it wants to brain spot, or it can go to several different topics.
Yeah. What's their state? Are they just calm? I mean, they just
It depends, because if you
'cause
hit that activated spot,
something could trigger.
yes,
Wow.
yes. So they can start crying immediately. Their legs can be shaking a lot. Their hands get really sweaty. You can see them tense. You can see their eyes blinking rapidly. There's so many different cues that I look for, and seeing that. And then when it's calm, you can just see that calm
The
in
glow,
pieces.
maybe.
Yes.
Huh? Wow, that's awesome.
Calm in pieces.
All right, how can people find you as we wrap up here, Andrea? Such a treat having you. So cool. How
Thank
can people find
you.
you?
So it works the same virtually as in person. I've done it both with clients, which
Okay.
is really cool.
Wow.
I did all my training virtually.
Okay.
So I do have an office in Mandarin, or like I say, virtually, whatever the clients prefer.
Do you
Awesome.
have a website?
I do.
What is that?
Brainspottingtherapyusa.com.
.com. All
Very
right,
good.
great. Well, great to
Awesome.
meet you. All the
Nice
best.
to meet you. Thank
fascinating.
you.
Good job.
I'm going to make an
Sir?
appointment.
You might be with me for a while if you can find that spot somewhere in there. But always fascinating. Man, I love meeting new people on this show and learning what they're doing out here in our great city of Jacksonville. If you like these kind of conversations, go see more at iwannabuzz.com. Until next time, stay safe and be cool out there. We'll see you right here on The Horse's Mouth. Cheers.